Hello, I'm WillTRM, and welcome to my guide on how to improve at A Dance of Fire and Ice. This will be part 1 of a 2-part series, and will cover settings and an overview of how to approach the base game. Part 2 will be far longer, and will mainly be focused on the custom level side of the community, going into quite extreme detail on how to progress to higher difficulties. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. I'll try to get to every single one of them. So without any further delay, let's get started. Settings. Before you actually start, it's best to change a few settings to optimize your playing experience. Start with the general settings by clicking the wrench icon. One of the most important settings you can turn on is asynchronous input. This makes the game use a different input engine that makes your inputs more precise. I won't go into too much detail on how it works, but basically, the game only processes inputs once per frame, and async allows the game to make inputs between that. Think of it like click between frames for Geometry Dash, if you know what that is. Skip long intros should be set to always, so you don't have to wait long periods of time between attempts. Next, click the computer icon to access the graphics settings. Set VSync to off if it isn't already is another way of reducing input lag, and turn on animate speed change icons if it isn't already on. This lets the rabbits and snails move to give you a visual indicator of the upcoming BPM. Next, click the 3 dots to access the advanced settings. By default, ADOFAI uses an unusual accuracy measurement that can go above 100% because it awards plus 0.01% accuracy on a perfectly timed note. The community standard is to use X accuracy instead, as it functions more like a traditional rhythm game accuracy meter, with 100% being the highest you can go. Hit error meter should be turned on so you can get a visual representation of how early or late you're hitting notes. You can pick which size to use. It doesn't matter as long as it isn't obscuring the screen and you find it comfortable. The same applies to hit error meter shape. Set it to either curved or straight based on what you find the most comfortable. If you're curious, I use large size and straight. Detailed results should be turned on because who doesn't love more information? This simply adds a judgment breakdown at the end of the level. Next, click the headphones to access the audio settings. Audio buffer. Not sure exactly what it does, but it does have an effect on your gameplay. Basically, you'll want to set it as low as you can without the audio making horrific noises. Here's an example of how it should look. Alright, here's our demo of how audio buffer works. You can see 1024 is normal, so let's drop it. Sounds normal, so let's drop it again. Still sounds normal. Drop it one more time. You can hear it's clanking out, so we're gonna leave it at 256. Quick editor note, TOF doesn't allow audio buffers below 256 because for some reason it affects hit windows, so don't go below 256 even if you can. Okay, thanks, back to the video. Finally, scroll down and press Calibration. This setting can also be instantly jumped to if you press C while in the settings menu. This is the single most important setting you can possibly touch, and if it isn't configured properly, all of your hits will sound wrong and be either too late or too early. All you need to do is tap to the beat of the song for a few seconds, and then the game will automatically set a calibration for you. The main game. Let's get you acquainted to the mechanics of ADOFAI. To start, you should beat the first 5 levels and unlock the 6th. This can be done in any order, and the general community opinion of difficulty from easiest to hardest is 4x, 1x, 2x, 3x, then 5x. 1x is mostly a straight line, and is the best way to get a basic feel for what the game has to offer. 2x introduces offbeats, which are notes that fall halfway between normal beats. This concept will be elaborated on further in the second part. 3x doesn't introduce anything new, it just shows off some harder patterns, and at a higher speed. 4x is very slow and doesn't contain anything new. Take a break and relax here. 5x will be your introduction to swing time. After beating all of these, you will unlock 6x, which is like if you took 2x and 3x, combined them, and then made it harder. After completing 6x, you will unlock Speed Trials, one of the best training tools in the base game. Speed Trials will not only speed up the level, but also remove checkpoints, which will greatly help you with customs as they are required to be cleared in one shot. Finally, by completing the speed trial goals for levels 1 through 6, you'll unlock one of the hardest levels in the game, BX. This is a significant jump of speed, but it is highly recommended that you clear it, as it will help with long sections of fast notes, as well as force you to learn some 2-key patterns. If you do feel that BX is too hard, feel free to check out levels 7 through 12 in the meantime. 7x will teach you about twirls, which are utilized heavily in customs. It's nearly impossible to find one that doesn't have them. 8x is a harder version of swing, containing some new shapes to teach even more triplet rhythms. 9x is good if you want a Steam achievement. It doesn't really do anything special. 10x is an excellent tool for learning unusual rhythms, and is one of the most complex levels in the game. 11x is good for more complex triplet patterns that aren't related to swing. 12x is more compact than all the other levels, and will help you with reading triangles, tricillos, and just general dense gameplay. There are a bunch of other levels that'll unlock as you play, such as the bonus world and the collab worlds, but after clearing levels 1 through 12 and BX, these are your final challenges of the main game that will all greatly improve your skills. Note that these levels are all found on Crown Island, which can be accessed either after beating BX through the crown in the main menu, or by typing QUREE anywhere into the main menu, and then exiting the level. XOX, One Forgotten Night. This level is great practice for improving your indexing speed and stamina. XTX, Options. An introduction to very U-turn heavy gameplay. It even has a pentagon. Very good for working on your reading skills because of how far apart the tiles are. XIX, It Go. This is the hardest level in the game. It's a nearly 4-minute marathon of almost every skill you've learned. This is the perfect level in the base game if you're working on improving your stamina because of how long it is. If you can't beat this level, there is no shame in that. Go play some customs and come back later when you're more confident. So I hope that provided a decent overview of what you should start out with. If you feel like this video helped you improve at all, feel free to like and or subscribe. This project is taking a lot of work, and it really helps me with motivation knowing people want to see more of this. So stay tuned for part 2. Soon. I'm not sure when, I haven't actually started working on it yet.